Welcome back. I need to pay attention. The battery is almost empty. Yeah, I still have to learn how to edit videos. I am very new. Oh, well, not new. I am new, not very new, to making video tutorials. I used to make PDF, as you might know. If you're a new customer, I'll just tell the story. But this time we prefer videos. So I have not. So as you can see, that's what I mean. You should use floral tape or else it just keeps moving, and if it does, I'll just stick it into glue and just let it dry like that. And now I can oh, I thought this was two, but it's only one. And now I can just separate the stamina a bit just by pulling them forward, setting them in space, place, to make it look fuller. And it is uneven because it's rolled. That's okay, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be perfect. And sometimes you just go the wrong direction and you just put it back and give it a new spot. Just like that. Placing glue on the back. This could actually be perhaps the shortest video I could make if I didn't decide to show two different. If I just decided to do one or use colored papers, then it could have been the shortest video I've ever made before. And I just attach it, make sure it's in the center, help it a bit by just placing it using your fingers, looking from top. And there you go. And I have this thing where I just place them and put them there. And now, that was it. So the one that we colored is dry. I'm just going to put stuff away a bit, or else it will become messy very fast, as you know. What I do is I flip it and I'll just shape. This is actually really perfect flower for beginners because not only will you learn how to shape or attach a stem to the flower or color. Maybe I should have used ink pad instead. I'm teaching you actually a lot of beginner techniques. And this is not only for beginners. This is also for those who just think it's a beautiful flower and who just wants to create something fast, and without spending a lot of time, like a lot of flowers of mine. But that's what you get when you would like to achieve a lifelike looking flower. It does take time to prepare. And mostly it's because of the shaping and the coloring. the preparing of the templates. Assembling is actually most of the time not as hard. I've talking about what I do after I turn it around, and I'll just shape the templates, starting from the edge of the petal towards the center, and to give it this cup shape look. I'm gonna do this one as well again because I've already used this, but I forgot that I still have to keep one at least for the tutorial. Sometimes when I'm making and I'm not thinking and I'm watching something, I just keep making and making and making, and then I forget that I have to keep at least one for the tutorial. As you can see, I'm using 2 this time. For this branch, I just use 2, 4, 6, 7 flowers as given in the files. And for the other one, I've added more flowers. So I have like, I'll count later. I've added more flowers to the sheet to make it fuller. Just to show, you know, that you could also, that there are more stuff to do. You can do with it. So I'm gonna do exactly the same with the template. And however, even if you could make this with cardstock paper as well, I did use lightweight paper because I think it looks softer. But this can definitely be made with, and as you can see, this one, something went wrong during cutting. I do not throw it away. I do not get frustrated. I'll keep it because you won't see it. Once it's rolled, you won't see it at all. So for this one, I have used 2 flower petals. And instead of 2, I used 3 stamens. Just to show that there are, you know, all the possibilities, varieties you could do with this templates. It's very versatile. And I'll just roll it again. I'm sorry if I'm disappearing from the screen. I have to use this. And that's why it gets dirty. That's okay. I actually have one for the tutorial, but then again, like, what's the point if I don't get rid of bad habits anyway, like wiping my fingers on my pad? Then I'll just make my video tutorial tutorial mat dirty. So better keep it when I really can't use this one anymore. And I do use wet wipes, kitchen wipes, wet wipes, or whatever it's called, to clean them. So, see, looks very messy, but, and you see, even when it's not, you won't see it. I'm just, oops, folding them, giving them, separating them. Oh, it came loose. Happens. Actually, this didn't happen while I was making all of these, but it happens now. I don't know why. Maybe I just didn't roll tight enough. Could be doing it too fast, because when I'm making a flower, I do take my time, but when making a tutorial, do try to work a bit faster so it won't be all story. It was supposed to be an easy which still is. But then I decided to show all the other possibilities. Here you go. I also used brown to color the tip for this one. I think I'll just use a bigger brush so it goes faster. Not the prettiest, and definitely not the easiest, because now I really have to be careful. But since you're doing a tutorial, if you're hearing something in the background, it's because I have a bit of music on, you know. Because I am here all alone, talking to myself. So I thought, you know, just have a bit of music in the background. And there you go. So when that happens to you, when you're cutting and you're using lightweight paper, don't get frustrated. Don't throw it away. Especially when it's stammen or even the leaves you saw. You won't see it. You absolutely will not see it. Trust me. And then you just glue and then attach the flower. Don't you think it's cute? I really like this spatter thing. It's just, you know, one of my trademarks. One of my trademarks is painting. Hand painting your flowers. The lifelike design, lifelike look designs. The splatters, the ruffles, the curls, the pleats. That's a typical Maison Gregoria flower. And even if it takes time, you know, I have to stay true to myself. Because you know, I have to have fun too while making the flowers. For this, the leaves, which, look guys, which I already have prepared. I have a small box here where it all got mixed up. I have painted these with watercolor paint. Actually, I used one layer this time just to show a different way. Just one. And what I did is I forgot to paint the back. You have to paint the back. It's a must before you do this, because if you do that afterwards, especially when using, you know, something wet, acrylic paint would not matter so much, but watercolor ink, what happens is the glue tends to get loose. Now it won't be sticky anymore. So I will just show how a different way. So this is like the third option, right? For the leaves. I mean, if you're new, a new customer, this is probably new to you, and if you have been a customer already, then this is absolutely not new to you anymore. So what I did is I folded it in half, and I will just have like half a centimeter. That's what's half a centimeter. I do not have the converter open right now. Of space. I think it's a quarter of an inch. I keep forgetting it. Space for the wire, and then just glue them on top of each other. And then just use my nail. And if you do not have the nail and you do not want to use your nail, you can always use your hobby tweezer, your chopstick, your stylo, anything, just to make sure that the template paper is wrapped around the wire. And I will finish this later, and I'm not gonna try it. I'll just paint it later, but just to show how it's attached. So that's one layer. And now to the fun part. You have to, when the glue dries, you know, you have to sometimes maybe help a bit up. Oh no, I should not have touched it. Oh well, okay. It was becoming flat. So I wanted to shape it. There you go. So, the fun part. For this branch, I'm using a 1.1 yeah, I just used the 1.1. And here we go again with our branch. I hope I will have enough space, so we could create some spaces. Just putting this backwards. There you go. 1.1 millimeter, which is actually pretty long. I will have two of those. I just don't know what, I think this is 16 gauge. Not sure, you have to look for the instruction. I have to make the instruction still after the tutorial. So, I think it's 16. And then we will need the green floral tape. And again, this is faster than it seems, as you can actually see. It's just because I'm showing other options. That's why it's taking long. When your tape is not adhesive enough, then just use a glue stick to tip, and then it will attach better. And oops, you just have to roll. Why is this happening when I'm making tutorials? Seriously, when I'm doing this all alone, then there's no problem at all. But and there you go. Just pull a bit, make it tight, and then we'll start with white flower. We're gonna need our bent nose plier. I'm gonna look for the prettiest one because it is on top. There you go. And I'll just bend like, oops. Just bend it like 4 centimeters. And then attach. You could also cover this with floral tape if you want. And I'll just have another 4 centimeters for the leaves. Oh, the leaves. Yeah, how I shape the leaves. I forgot to show you that. Oh, and by the way, if there's, doesn't come correctly, you can always use a scissor. I think it's like, and you just, cut it a bit. It's just try to adjust. The leaves, yeah, I forgot to show that. I just used, for this one, I just used my chopstick and just simply shaping them like this. Oops, nothing too hard. So if you're using colored paper, everything goes even faster. Just use my wire. That's like 1 centimeter. Like 1.2 inch. Wait. Yeah, something like that. Now I have to look at my sample.